SDP, a big name in racing for nearly 20 years. SDP oil treatment on the track in some of the world's most expensive engines. Around the track, around the world, every day, tens of thousands of people get SDP oil treatment. Get it for your car, satisfaction guaranteed. Around the track, around the world, SDP oil treatment is #1.
This commercial is based on a true story.
Hello? Tracy. No, we don't need a babysitter tonight. Thanks anyway.
After a family bought an Atari video game, they had no trouble getting babysitters.
Oh boy, Dad.
Hello? Kate. No, we don't need a babysitter tonight. Bye.
Everybody enjoys Atari because Atari has so many different games to enjoy.
Hello? Karen. No, we don't need a babysitter tonight.
No other company offers you as many different video game cartridges as Atari.
This man leads the good life. He puts on his bow tie, he puts on his tuxedo, and then he puts on his Accord LX, our most luxurious Honda, with features like variable assist power steering, digital clock, and air conditioning as standard, with plush seats and deep pile carpeting. So, for people who lead the good life, the car that leads the simple life.
Honda, we make it simple.
Tonight on Archie Bunker's Place, Veronica's in love, but Archie's not exactly thrilled. Then on One Day at a Time, can Ann and Nick be business partners?
He's so cute. We see him differently.
Next on Alice, Mel's boxing lessons get Tommy in deep trouble.
Suspended from school!
Then on the Jeffersons, Louise visits a male strip club, and she's in for a shock. And on Trapper John, Gonzo's career is at stake when he's sued for sexual misconduct. Exciting comedy and drama tonight.
Back live in New York, I'm Brent Musburger with Irv Cross. The Pittsburgh Steelers have just recovered a Miami fumble at the goal line. They lead it by 6. Meanwhile, Baltimore has tied Buffalo. But let's take you to the scoreboard. Let's get you up to date with everything that's going on right now. The Cardinals have dominated the Giants throughout this game. Still, they were only ahead by 7 at the half. Now they've extended it with a couple of field goals, 13-0 in the 4th period. And there's the situation. The Steelers have the ball and a 6-point lead. Now in the 4th period, Woodley went 31 yards to Nat Moore to get the Dolphins right back in it. Atlanta 7, Washington 3. The Redskins had them down by 3 at the half. Bartkowski hit out for Jenkins with a 14-yard scoring pass, and now the Falcons lead it. 16-0 Minnesota over New Orleans. Ted Brown scored from a yard out. Many of you are watching this game this afternoon on CBS, and in a big one in the AFC East. Buffalo 14, Baltimore 14. Burt Jones not playing because of a shoulder injury. Ferguson went 12 yards to Ron Jesse. Greg Landry ran in from 7 out and then hit Ray Butler for the tying touchdown. Cincinnati over Kansas City 7-3, 4 yards. Anderson to McAnally in that game. Lowry a 26-yard field goal. The rest of you are watching this action. Tampa Bay leading Green Bay, and Jan Stenerud 10-3. Here's the score there. Irv, how about a little change of pace from you right now?
An exciting change of pace. But, you know, if you've been following the NFL for any time at all, you've probably heard most of the announcers in the sport. But there's a 50-station network of growing popularity, and most of you have never heard any football like it.
Morris a la izquierda, Anderson a la derecha, hace señales Jim Hart. Va para atrás, será pase, está buscando por el centro, pase, bomba, acá por el lado derecho, ahí está el receptor. Y frente a Steve Wilson, captura, touchdown de los Cardenales. Touchdown de Pat Shelley, atrás de Steve Wilson, que no pudo evitar que capturar el balón. Shelley, touchdown de los Cardenales y se van arriba en el marcador.
The Mutual Spanish Network offers the only Spanish-language broadcast team in the NFL, reporting Dallas Cowboy games with a kind of excitement that makes you believe the sport loses something in translation. It helps make the Cowboys the most popular team in Mexico. Armando Quintero is the play-by-play announcer.
Year before last, Israel Aguilar, our producer, director, called me and he said, we might have a position available as far as broadcasting the Dallas Cowboys. Would you be interested in doing it? I said, well, I'll give it my best shot.
After 2 years of broadcasting X's and O's in the language of Cervantes, Quintero gets mail from all over Mexico.
It's incredible the knowledge that the people have. I got a letter from a guy in Chihuahua, and he says, all the people down here, the little kids, they're playing football, and the little kids say, hey, you're Tony Hill, and you're Dorsett, and you're the tall one, you're Too Tall Jones, you know, and the little kids playing out their sandlot football.
Mario Montez plays the analyst to Quintero's play-by-play, and after years of following the Dallas Cowboys, who are the superstars to Mexican fans?
They say Harvey Mark, hard mark. We thought it was going to be Rafael Septién, but it turned out Harvey Mark. Then comes Too Tall Jones, then comes through Pearson, and it goes down the line.
The broadcast team's job is to add a Latin beat to the Cowboys' Sunday symphonies, with feeling.
Aquí viene Jim Hart haciendo señales, la formación está normal.
We try to make it more exciting, as far as we can tell, because our audience out there, that's what they expect. You know, a lot of feeling, a lot of emotion in the broadcast, and they won't settle for anything less.
Touchdown, Dallas Cowboys!
And for this winning touchdown coming up, reverse the procedure. Turn off the picture and listen to the call.
Esta es la jugada de la verdad. Va para atrás Danny White. Busca. Tira el pase desesperado. Ahí está Tony Hill. Touchdown. Lo capturó. Touchdown. De Tony Hill. Le robaron el touchdown en Filadelfia, pero no podían.
Well, would I love to do NBA games to those folks. Listen, you were down in Mexico City. You helped broadcast a game out of there.
It's like Gary Bender and I were down there a couple of summers ago to the preseason game with the Eagles and the New Orleans Saints. There's a lot of enthusiasm and excitement about American football down there, and they know quite a bit about it.
They even know something about point spreads, right?
No, they know about the Dallas Cowboys.
Listen, I got an update. Atlanta now leads Washington 10-3. Mazzetti's kicked a field goal. The NFL Today continues on CBS after these messages from your local stations.
If you're on welfare and want to get off, or if you're not on welfare and wonder why so many others are, don't miss the 60-minute story, Getting Off Welfare, tonight on CBS.
Washington Redskins have pretty good secondary, and they were all over Atlanta's receivers in the first half. And then Bartkowski and the Falcons started running their patterns a touch longer. And on this 3rd and 4th, it was Bartkowski, Irv, going to Alfred Jenkins. What a catch.
What a catch. Watch the throw, though. He's under pressure, makes a catch right on target.
Then he went to Jenkins for the touchdown. This was TD number 24 for Bartkowski on the season. And meanwhile, St. Louis and the Giants, and here's O.J. Anderson thundering in. They led it 13-0, but just moments ago, Larry Heater got the Giants on the board.
Really a big play for the New York team, New Jersey team, New York Giants. How about Giants? There he goes. Heater skirting off his right end for the touchdown.
And it is now 13-7 as the Giants add the extra point in that contest. A little over 12 minutes to go. A lot of time to go in that one. Now, Tampa Bay and Green Bay. Big showdown in that NFC Central. 5 teams still in the race. Here's a turnover by the Pack. Gary Ellis coughs it up. Andy Hawkins recovers for Tampa Bay. Here's your man, Doug Williams. This time somebody held on.
Pretty good first half. Threw the ball 18 times, completed 8 for 102 yards and that touchdown.
Now, meanwhile, watch Archie Manning here. This pass is going to be intercepted. Boy, I'll tell you, he is having trouble throwing the ball. I think there might be something wrong with Arch's arm this year. That was Hannon. And he ran it back to the 20. Here's Kramer to Sammy White.
Boy, Sammy White's been kind of quiet this year, but he's always been a big play receiver for the Vikings.
Meanwhile, it was, of course, young Kramer who directed the Vikes right back down, went cross field. With this throw, was there interference? You better believe it. Huh? And Minnesota took advantage of that to score this touchdown and move ahead by a count of 16-0. At the half. There was a question yesterday, University of Miami, all over Florida. What was it, 28-7? Time running out in the ball game. And Howard Schnellenberger says, kick a field goal. What was he thinking of? Howard says, this field goal was my little way of telling them I was not happy with their conduct. He was referring to the Florida student body. He said that fans behind the Miami bench were pelting them with orange, tangerine, ice, water, cups, goodness knows what else. Meanwhile, Charlie Pell says, well, we'll react to that 365 days from now. Not that long, actually, because Florida and Miami open the season next year against each other. What a grudge match that's going to be. Now let's send you back to the stadium and the game you're enjoying on CBS.
I'm Lindsey Nelson with Sonny Jurgensen here in New Orleans. And Sonny, taking a look at that stat sheet there, it's been another one of those days for the New Orleans Saints.
It really has, because they just haven't been able to do anything offensively. They stop themselves every time They've had the ball with incompletions, then the interception, the big turnover down in the backed up in their own territory, which has really cost them. I think defensively they've played well in the first half. They've given up 16 points, but they've been on the field a long time.
I think an important point we have to consider is now they're trailing 16-0 at halftime. Will they self-destruct now in the second half?
I don't think so.
That's what we'll have to find out. 16-0 at halftime.
When I was coaching, I was the boss. I used to feed them, dress them, get them to bed on time. Now I treat them to our favorite beer, right?
Light beer from Miller.
Light's got a third less calories than the regular beer. And what else?
It's less filling, Red.
And they really like the taste. Another beer, anyone?
Yeah, come on, do it.
What's the magic word?
Please.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Here's another Radio Shack Christmas gift idea. This year, thrill the kids with our amazing radio control toys. On the track, obstacle course, or off the road. You control all the action with a radio transmitter. Drive a race car or a four-wheeler. Command a tank. There's even a robot. Excitement for kids and grown-ups, too. 15 different toys priced $11.95 to $59.95. The amazing radio control toys from Radio Shack, your Christmas electronics store.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Ford and your Ford dealers, who invite you to test drive the new world car, Ford Escort. Bell & Howell Mamiya and the Mamiya Quartz CE, the camera with a built-in computer. And by your Sears Tire and Auto Center, home of straight talk, good values, and satisfaction.
Halftime here at the Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana, as the teams have come back onto the field, and the Minnesota Vikings, knowing that if they can win here today, they'll move into a first-place tie in the Central Division with the Detroit Lions, have established a 16-point advantage. Archie Manning, those are his stats, quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. Saints came into the game, of course, knowing that they had not won a game this entire season. They came in 0-12 with 4 to play, and a new coach, Dick Stanfield, at the helm. Here are the halftime stats, and you can see just about how they stack up. In rushing yardage, the Vikings 84 and the Saints 27.
And the time of possession also, 19 minutes there to only 10, and that's what I was talking about. The Saint defense has been on the field a long time. The big thing, though, were the 5 penalties against the Saints, none against the Vikings, and, of course, the big turnover.
Benny Ricardo has teed the ball up. This is the first kickoff, of course, for the Saints. And Eddie Payton has dropped back center deep to field the kickoff for the Minnesota Vikings. He's got Miller on the left side and Pascal on the right side. As one would expect, there are all sorts of rumors floating around the Crescent City of New Orleans about who will be the new head coach of the New Orleans Saints, and there's hardly a man or boy who has not been mentioned at some time or another in some quarter of this city in the last few days. Bob Frederick, the referee, there's his whistle. Here's Ricardo. And it goes out of bounds. So they take it back, inflict the 5-yard penalty, and do it all over again.
Not a very good kick. I'm sure he'd like to keep the ball away from Payton as much as possible by trying to kick it to one side or the other. And then you can, what they try to do is hem him into one side of the field on his return, instead of giving him down the middle where he can go either way. That time he hit it too far to the right and he kicked it out of bounds.
So they take it back to the 30-yard line, kick it off from the 30.
You mentioned the team self-destructing, Lindsay. We've seen them play it a couple of times this year, and they've had things bother them in the past, interception, things like that, and they turned around and made a number of mistakes consecutively. Let's see what happens.
Eddie Payton at the 12-yard line. He is at the 15, at the 20, Payton to the 25, to the 30, to the 35, lunges to the 37-yard line, and that is where the Minnesota Vikings start 1st and 10 here in the third quarter.
For them to get back into the football game, you're looking at Tommy's stats coming in. But for the Saints to get back into the football game, they need to stop them right here. Show them they're not going to be able to control the ball on them for the second half. And of course, that's exactly what the Vikings want to do. Keep the football away from Archie Manning.
Ted Brown and Ricky Young are the running backs for quarterback Tommy Kramer. Steve Parker's in place of Tommy Hart defensively for the New Orleans Saints as we start the second half. Parker recently added. Has a screen left to Brown, and Ted Brown cuts back to the inside, spins his way up, drops the ball. The scramble is on, and the Vikings retain possession at the 46-yard line.
Well, the Vikings have only lost 3 fumbles the entire year.
Rashad got the ball. Fettersfield was the man on the hit.
Good call. This is a screen pass. Across the backs. The fake goes back outside. It picks up good blocking from Huff. And there's the ball being stripped away, but very alertly, the Vikings come up with it again.
14:24 remaining in the third quarter, and the Minnesota Vikings are leading by a score of 16-0.
Engineers from America and overseas have created a world car, the new Ford Escort. The 4-door Escort liftgate has higher mileage ratings than Volkswagen Jetta or Toyota Corona. Yet Escort also gives you more room inside. And Escort gives you the privacy of a hideaway luggage compartment and wagon room when you need it. Ford Escort, built in America to take on the world.
Inside the Mamiya Quartz CE, you'll find something you won't find inside a conventional camera. A computer. A computer specially designed to make sure the camera is always ready to shoot at the right exposure. Automatically, no matter what the conditions, no matter what the subject. The Mamiya Quartz CE. For a limited time, get rebates from $20 to $120 when you buy the ZE camera at participating dealers.
Mamma mia.
Monday, an all-new country Christmas special starring Debbie Boone, Tanya Tucker and Glenn Campbell, Loretta Lynn, the Oak Ridge Boys, Tom Wopat, and Minnie Pearl Monday.
Cards leading the Giants now 16-7 in the fourth quarter.
Ted Brown was injured on the last play, left under his own power, and Doug Pascal's in there to running back for the Minnesota Vikings. Ricky Young gets the 1st and 10. Elois Grooms and Don Schwartz made the tackle.
Well, it's a sign of an alert football team that comes up with loose balls on the carpet or on the natural turf, and that's what they've done the entire season.
It is 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Redskins get another field goal from Mark Mosley. They trail now 10-6.
Tommy Kramer brings the Vikings up. They're leading here by a score of 16-0 in the third quarter. Kramer has the ball. Completes it to Rashad. He is at the 34-yard line with a 1st and 10. Marshall on the tackle.
We had a lot of people open on this pattern. Good time to throw the football. Take a look from the end zone. Again, that's the same play they just ran earlier by running the screen pass off of. This time they run the same action. They come back. He runs a sideline pattern. Marshall comes up and makes the contact and makes a hit there.
Again, a 13 yards on the play. As they come out of the huddle, Rashad goes to the right side. Sammy White to the left side. Pascal's on the left side. Ricky Young on the right side. Joe Sensors the tight end. Tommy Kramer, the quarterback. As a pitch to Pascal. Rookie from North Carolina. And he goes out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Tommy Myers edged him out.
Lindsay, they had the right play call for the blitz that time. The quick pitch getting outside of the rush, and the contained man was Elois Grooms. All the blitzers coming, and you see who's got to chase him. A big defensive end trying to chase it back, coming out. Myers finally knocks him out of bounds.
Again, a 7 on the play. That is Ted Brown sitting on the bench. There you see the pack on his right knee. 2nd and 3. That's Ricky Young, and he's got the 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Tommy Myers on the tackle.
Well, a very steady football player, Ricky Young. Good pass receiver coming out of the backfield. This time the roll draw to him. He comes back blocking. Yuri comes all the way from the right side to come back over and block for him that time. He gets some good blocking and picks up another 1st down.
Spotted outside the 20-yard line. 1st and 10. Sammy White goes to the right side. Rashad to the left.
what we say the Vikings wanted to do, run the ball, keep it away from Manning. That's what they're doing.
Kramer. And it's complete at the 10-yard line. That's Sammy White. Ken Boydell on. Linebacker over there.
Where he's getting good pass protection now. Goes back. Has good time to throw the football. Steps up. Nice pocket, boy. That's what quarterbacks dream about. Having a nice pocket to throw the thing out of.
First and 10.
Throw.
Just outside the 10-yard line.
Steelers leading the Dolphins now 23-10. That's in the fourth quarter.
Up there in the I formation now. They're in a slot left. Pascal, touchdown for Doug Pascal. The rookie from North Carolina burst in from the 10-yard line.
Both times he's touched the ball, he's made things happen. Good strong run from the fullback position that time, right straight up the middle. You'll take a look right here. They run a trap, they come up and fold right up on Fettispiel up the middle with a Huff blocking. The center blocks back. Swilly made a good block. Huff made a good block, open up a big hole up the middle, and good piece of running by Pascal.
Steve Dills is holding for Dan Meyer. Dan Meyer's kick is good. And so Bob Frederick indicates it is good as they come back up the field now. It is the Minnesota Vikings 23 and the Saints nothing. Pascal bursting through for the touchdown for the Minnesota Vikings.
One night before Christmas, when the Sears store was still, big changes came over the saws, tools, and drill. Now on sale are this Craftsman 7-inch circular saw, variable speed saber saw, 3/8-inch variable speed drill, and this dual action pad sander, each just $29.99, $5 and $15 savings. And this Craftsman 94-piece mechanics tool set, $88. Isn't that fine? Sears at Christmas is the right place, the right time.
Welcome to Sears Home Entertainment Sale. Big savings on selected stereos, TVs, and more. Save $100 on this video recorder with high-speed beta scan. Save $70 on this color TV with reliable electronic tuning, one-button color, and touch and tune, just $399.95. Save $50 on this AM/FM stereo system, now only $169.95, with record changer, 2 speakers, both cassette and 8-track. Now at Sears, where America shops for value.
Take a look again from ground level. Doug Pascal going straight up the middle. Found a big gaping hole up the middle and burst through all the way to the end zone before he really makes contact.
There's the drive of the Minnesota Vikings, and the report on Ted Brown is he has a bruised right knee, might return. Jimmy Rogers is center deep now as Dan Meyer kicks it off. Rogers is waiting, and he has it at the 9-yard line to the 10 to the 15. Rogers to the 20 to the 25. Upset there, but stumbled forward across the 30-yard line. Keith Nord made the hit. So now the New Orleans Saints get the ball. They get it in their own territory. First down and 10 yards to go at the 32.
You know, I talked to Archie Manning before the game, and I said, look, the season's gone. Would you be interested in just sitting out the rest of the year, not playing these last games? He said, look, I live around this place. I want to play. I want to win. I want to do what I can to help this football team.
Ike Harris to the left side. Chandler to the right side. Running backs are split for Archie Manning. Wilson and Rogers are the setbacks. That is Wilson carrying. Took a little wrinkle and came outside just past the line of scrimmage. James White ran him out. Got a yard on the play.
Well, we're going to get a reaction from the crowd now every time the Saints run the ball, trailing 23-0. They want them to put it up every time, but if you do that, they're going to be more points on the board for the Vikings.
Second down, 9 yards to go. Wes Chandler to the right side, Ike Harris to the left side, and that is Archie Manning. Manning. Diving catch across the 50-yard line. Wes Chandler skidding in there and controlling it at the 47-yard line.
Boy, he made a good catch. Jimmy Rogers coming out of the backfield really took a shot also by the linebacker, knocking him down. You see him deck right there, but look at the catch that he makes. Outstanding receiver.
Covered 20 yards.
Tough catch down on the ground.
Rogers goes out of the ball game. Tony Galbraith comes in.
Guess I should say down on the rug.
Screen left. Galbraith. Galbraith struggling to the 42-yard line. Studwell on the tackle.
I told you I talked with Archie Manning before the game and about the remainder of the season. Let's take a listen.
Not at all, Sonny. 0-12, it's been a very miserable type of season, but I can't think of anything worse than now sitting around and watching and not being able to try to do something about it. I'm anticipating, looking forward to the last 4 games just to do something and try to redeem ourselves. It's been tough, and I'd like to do something to have a better feeling about myself. We've lost our coach, and we all kind of feel responsible for that, but we think a lot of the guy we got now, and it's no pressure or anything. Just try to go out and make something happen and win some football games and just get a better feeling.
Well, Archie got it out to Ike Harris on the right side. He could not hang on to make it 3rd and 5 at the 42-yard line. Turner covering.
Well, you saw him right there clapping for Harris. Said, come on, forget about it. He'll catch one here. It's tough being a leader of a team when they're 0-12 because the quarterback and the coach take the blunt of the criticism.
6 defensive backs in there now for Minnesota. Anticipation of Manning putting it up. Quarterback draw, and he's at the 35, and Manning's at the 32-yard line for the 1st and 10. Matt Blair made the stop. 1st down for Archie Manning.
The quarterback draw. This is a play I didn't call in 18 years, Lindsey.
I wonder why.
Boy, enough for the 1st down. He knew where the yardsticks were, and he got down for the 1st down.
Coach can put it in there, but the quarterback's got to call it.
We have a final. Atlanta beats the Washington Redskins 10-6. Big high-scoring affair, huh?
Archie Manning out to Galbraith. Galbraith outside the 25. Kurt Muff made the stop there.
Galbraith caught the first screen pass like this with one hand. This time he said, well, I'll use 2 this time, but he had the same success as the last time, but a good piece of running coming back inside 2 Vikings, Bryant and Holloway.
2nd and 5 at the 27, a pickup of 5 on the play. Tony Galbraith, the Thunder of one-time Thunder and Lightning. It included Chuck Muncie. Lightning is now in San Diego. 419. Draw play. Galbraith to the 9-yard line. 1st and goal. Tony Galbraith with the football. Matt Blair made the stop. 18 yards on the play.
Boy, what a draw. Another good draw play. Xander's coming up, making a block on Studwell. He actually he gets a takedown there. He took him down, and a good piece of running again. Tony Galbraith. And where have you been, Tony? Well, you take a look again. Well, he finds a lot of daylight after he breaks through.
1st down and goal to go at the 9-yard line on the 18-yard pickup. Manning, end zone. Childs, touchdown. Henry Childs for the touchdown as Manning hits the tight end. And the New Orleans Saints are on the scoreboard for the 1st time today at 7:21 elapsed in the 3rd quarter.
He gets lost. They must have made a mistake in the coverage here. He goes back, gets good protection. And look, nobody around. Henry Childs, no one around him this time. Somebody blew the coverage. Everybody looking at everybody else in the Viking secondary.
Benny Ricardo is in. Tommy Myers holding for him. Ricardo boots, and it's no good. No good. Ricardo missed the conversion attempt. And so with 7 minutes, 21 seconds remaining to be played in the 3rd quarter here at the Superdome in New Orleans, It is the Minnesota Vikings 23 and the New Orleans Saints 6.
Introducing an American car built for a changing world and designed with a commitment to quality. The beautifully new Ford Granada. Contemporary in styling, energy efficient, smaller in size.
But not at the expense of room.
With Granada's highest mileage ratings ever. And with attention to detail. The kind of detail you can see, feel, and hear. The new Granada, built in America for a changing world from Ford.
Take it easy. You know, I was known for working long and hard during training camp. Why, even after my teammates were asleep, I'd still be out practicing my moves, and that's still important. So I drink light beer from Miller. Light tastes great. It's got a third less calories than a regular beer, and the best thing is it's less filling. Because listen, I still train the same way as the old days. Practice, practice, practice.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Next Saturday live, the WBC's fourth-ranked Howard Davis meets Johnny Lira in a lightweight bout from Lake Tahoe, and World Cup skiing from France. Next Saturday, 4:30 Eastern on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
Benny Ricardo will kick it off from the 35-yard line. Eddie Payton is back at the 2-yard line to receive it for the Minnesota Vikings. Here comes Ricardo. Eddie Payton moves up at the 8-yard line, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, to the 25. Penalty marker is thrown. Chuck Evans on the hit underneath, and there's a penalty marker to be checked out.
Well, let's see if we have an illegal block of some kind.
Illegal use of hands.
Where you have trouble blocking on those kick returns now. And I think this is the first penalty against the Minnesota Vikings, isn't it?
Puts the ball at the 11-yard line. Bob Frederick.
Offensive holding, number 73 on the kick return. First down and 10.
Make it first and 10 at the 11-yard line. Haskell and Young are the setbacks for the Minnesota Vikings. Ted Brown still on the sideline. One out with a bruised knee. Kramer sprints out, goes on the run, incomplete at the 20-yard line.
You take a look at that touchdown again. Manning going back. He picks up Childs. Everybody runs by Childs and lets him go free. The man inside that was covering him went to double the outside receivers, anticipating that he was going to go to the outside man. The tight end comes completely open.
On the last play, the intended receiver was tight end Bob Tucker. Now 3 wide receivers are in the game as Terry LeCount comes in. Second down and 10 yards to go with the Vikings at the 11-yard line.
They had a safety blitz on that last play.
Tommy Kramer, the quarterback. Put it in close and leave it on the ground with Doug Pasco carrying, and he gets up to the 14-yard line. Picked up 3. Third down and 7 yards to go.
In the past, this is where they've either gone to the little check down, or look at the cards. 18-yard run by Otis Anderson. They lead the Giants now 23-7. That's in the fourth quarter. But they like to throw the little check down, or they go to the slot formation and throw to the man coming out of the slot toward the sidelines.
6 defensive backs in there now for the New Orleans Saints. On this third down play. Kramer. Incomplete. That'll bring up a fourth down. Sammy White, the intended receiver. Ray Brown batted it away.
The play that they wanted to run was the drag pattern by the man in the slot. He wanted to go outside. He couldn't. When Kramer started talking, he went back to the left, and almost a completion.
Greg Coleman's in deep punt formation, sending a yard deep in his own end zone. He's punted 3 times and averaged 36.3 today. Booms it out of there. Wes Chandler retreats, calls for the fair catch, and makes it. West Chandler at the 40-yard line, and that is where the Saints will start 1st and 10. Start at their own 40-yard line, and we'll have 6 minutes, 9 seconds left in the third quarter with the Vikings out front, 23-6.
When you've got to rely on your vehicles, rely on AC Delco. AC fire ring spark plugs, AC filters, Delco shocks, and a battery even tougher than the Freedom. The maintenance-free Delco Freedom 2 battery with more efficient starting power. For over 50 years, hard-working people have relied on AC Delco parts for just about anything that moves.
AC Delco, working hard for you.
And right now, AC Delco is making it possible for you to get the Delco Freedom 2 battery on sale at participating outlets.
I'm Joe Duncan, State Farm agent, Cincinnati, Ohio, speaking for thousands of State Farm agents around the country. You know, there are a lot of reasons why people come to State Farm agents and stick with State Farm agents year after year. I think one of the big reasons is service. State Farm built its reputation on service. People expect it, they are paying for it, and we deliver.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
On Flo, it's a chug-a-lug contest, and Flo picks someone to share her vacation prize. Suddenly, winners become losers. Can Flo save the situation? Find out Monday.
Well, Gumbo seems to be enjoying the activities of the afternoon.
And I'm sure a lot of people are interested in that score right there. Tampa Bay leading the Packers 13-3 now.
Galbraith and Wilson are the setbacks in the ball game now for Archie Manning. That's Ike Harrison motion back toward the inside. Archie Manning. Taken by Wes Chandler. Wes Chandler at the 35. Chandler is at the 27-yard line.
You're seeing one of the most talented receivers. We have 3 of them on this field. Outside receivers, watch your catch. Really goes up in the air to catch the football, and he makes a good run after catching the thing. Feet come out from under him. Bryant puts him down. You take a look from the end zone. A good throw this time. Really getting up in the air. Had a good pocket to throw the ball into there behind the linebackers.
Pass run good for 33 yards, 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. Manning has the ball. Childs incomplete. Trying to get it to Henry Childs. Bob Bryant covering. 2nd and 10 at the 28-yard line.
He didn't want to throw the ball when he had to, but he kept it out in front of Childs, not risking an interception because Randy Holloway forced him back out of the pocket. You see, he's going straight back, but look at the rush coming from the left of the screen. Throws the football away.
Vikings are leading by a score of 23-6. The Saints have the ball.
Colts now, look at this. The Colts have come back taking the lead over the Bills, 21-14 without Burt Jones.
3 linemen rush for the Minnesota Vikings. Galbraith and Wilson are the setbacks. Manning putting it up for Chandler, incomplete in the end zone. John Turner covering. Wes Chandler, the intended receiver.
Difficult pass to throw. When you throw this ball, you but only 63 at halftime. They're coming back here in this period.
6 defensive backs on the field now. The Minnesota Vikings on a 3rd and 10. Short drop. Ike Harris gathered it in, but not much of a gain. Nate Wright on the corner.
Well, they had a blitz on. He may have audible of this play. Had a blitz, a quick out. Nate Wright coming up, making a play on it. Good catch by Harris.
It's going to be 4th down and about 6 yards to go. Crowd, of course, says go, go, go. The Vikings are leading by a score of 23-6. Saints in possession.
The Steelers beat the Dolphins 23-10. That's the final.
4th down play coming. Archie Manning wants quiet here in the Superdome. Archie Manning into the end zone. Wilson, touchdown! Wayne Wilson took it in the end zone.
The pass protection really helped Archie Manning here. Anytime you can wait for a back to get that long. Wayne Wilson going all the way from his backfield position to the deep corner. Manning spotted him and laid it in perfectly for the touchdown.
So now, conversion attempt coming. Benny Ricardo with Bobby Scott holding. Bobby Scott is holding, puts it down. Ricardo boots it up, and it's good. As you see, Archie Manning who threw the touchdown pass. And so, with 4 minutes, 58 seconds remaining to be played in the third quarter, it's 23-13.
Introducing a car with better ideas from Germany, Japan, America, from around the world. Introducing a world car, the new Ford Escort, built in America with better ideas from around the world. Escort has higher gas mileage ratings than Rabbit, Accord, Corolla hatchback, yet it is roomier inside. And Escort has four-wheel independent suspension, front-wheel drive. Ford Escort, built in America to take on the world.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special.
So long, fellas. Hey, Jim, how you doing? I'm hot, cold, thirsty. Call me a cab. 10 minutes, I have you back at the lodge. I can't make it. 10 minutes, I have you back at the lodge drinking a Lowenbrow. I can make it.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Where would I be without you guys?
Probably still out there in the snow somewhere.
You take a look at this touchdown. Wayne Wilson coming all the way from the backfield. Give that offensive line a lot of credit. He steps up in the pocket, delivers the ball, and you can see how open he is to make the catch. You take a look again. Wilson coming out, getting by. Manning just stepping back up inside. That's what helped him, having the time to throw this ball.
And the kickoff now with Ricardo having teed the ball up at the 35. Eddie Payton is deep to receive it for the Minnesota Vikings. Payton chases over and has it at the 5-yard line. He's at the 10, at the 15, at the 20, at the 25. And Payton struggles up past the 28. Chuck Evans made a stop. Dick Stanfill along the sideline. First day as a head coach in the National Football League.
Another final, St. Louis beat the Giants 23-7.
Stanfill is in action along that sideline.
Well, Vikings still have not. Do you see that other final left? Atlanta beating the Redskins. The Vikings have not made a mistake all day. They fumbled once, but they picked it back up.
Ted Brown is back in the ballgame. He's the up back in the I formation now, Minnesota Vikings. Kramer pumps once, goes long, and it is incomplete. Sammy White. David Waymer covering.
Well, they faked this. They got a touchdown. Had one scored last week against them on the same type of play, faking the ball. Almost. That's an almost right there when it's just over the fingertips.
So it is second down and 10 yards to go for the Minnesota Vikings.
They must have picked that play up for Green Bay. Andre Thompson ran the same play on him for a touchdown.
Double receivers to the right side. New Orleans defense stacks him up. Bordelon is there. So is Steve Parker. We asked for a reaction from Dick Stanfill to the fact that an interim coach has his systems pretty well set and can't change them much.
It's about, Lindsey, that at this time you can't change everything offensively and defensively. They're installed in what we have been doing the whole year, and the only thing we can do is maybe add a few things here and there, and that's what we're trying to do. And again, we're not looking at just a 4-game season. We're looking at a start of a new season. It's not an 0-12. We're starting 0-0. I think the ball players feel that way, and I think they're going to give 100%.
Sometime. 3rd and 12, and the pass is incomplete. Rashad could not hold it. Rashad could not hold the pass in his hands from Kramer, and that'll bring on the punting unit.
Well, the Vikings have stopped themselves. They went for the home run. They come back and they failed to execute on third down. Rashad looking where he was going to run after he made the reception instead of making the reception.
Greg Coleman's in the punt. He's punted 4 times and averaged 38.5 yards. Wes Chandler's deep, standing at his own 28-yard line. Chandler moves up at the 35 to the 39. Keith Nord downfield on the tackle. Next Sunday, be with us from the NFL Today. Kicks off a doubleheader afternoon of football action, including the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears, both of whom are still alive in the Central Division.
And the doubleheader games.
These New Orleans Saints will be at San Francisco. Dallas versus Oakland in a big, big football game all next week right here on CBS. Tony Galbraith and Wayne Wilson to the setbacks end for Archie Manning. First and 10 at the 39. Tony Galbraith. Galbraith to the 45-yard line. Scott Studwell made the tackle. Gain of 6 on the play, makes it 2nd down and 4 yards to go.
Manning stats picking up now a little bit. 12 out of 22, 2 touchdowns.
Clock is running with 3.5 minutes remaining to be played in the third quarter.
The San Diego Chargers leading the once beaten Philadelphia Eagles 6-0 in the first quarter. They missed the extra point.
Manning has completed 12 passes in 21 attempts, 146 yards and 2 touchdowns. Manning. And he completes it. Taken by Wes Chandler. John Turner on the hit. It's going to be marked at the 47-yard line. First and 10.
The play action, they're trying to throw the quick post. It's not the prettiest play in the world. Turner covering.
They got 8 yards and a first down. Ike Harris to the left side. Wes Chandler to the right side. Archie Manning brings them up. Wayne Wilson in the left side. Tony Galbraith in the right side. Archie Manning. Intercepted at the 34-yard line. And Archie Manning is hurt. Manning is down. The interception by John Turner.
Yes, he did. He got hit, Lindsey, just as he was delivering the ball, and I think that's the reason it was underthrown. Just as he's delivering the thing, take a look. He's going back. He wants to throw the ball very quickly. And right by the leg, as he kind of gets his knee pulled out from under him, and that step by having that lower leg, boy, good effort underneath. Mulaney pulling his leg out from underneath him just as he's trying to plant and deliver the football, probably caused the interception.
So the attention is for Archie Manning as he is coming off the field. The ball goes over to the Minnesota Vikings, first and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
You take a look, you see right there the leg is being grabbed as he delivers the ball. He was trying to split a zone. They think something very short on the ball because of that. He didn't get anything behind the football.
For Minnesota, Tommy Kramer has completed 11 passes of 23, thrown for 122 yards and 1 touchdown. Ricky Young and Ted Brown are the setbacks, and that's Sammy White in motion across. That's Brown. Ted Brown to the 42.
Very good hard running inside as you see Manning on the sideline getting some attention. I think the Vikings would like to use a little clock now with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. 6-yard run, Cleo Miller. Cleveland leads Houston 7-0 in the first quarter.
Second down play coming now for the Minnesota Vikings. They're running out of a slot left. Sammy White's in the slot. Rashad's wide to the left side. White in motion across. Kramer pumps, throws a screen left. It's Ricky Young. 45, 50. First and 10 at the 47-yard line. Myers and Marshall on the tackle. There's Bobby Scott. Backup quarterback.
Bobby Scott's getting a little talking to there from Ed Hughes. Looks like Scott's going to get a little playing time there. Anyway, he's going to be loose in case Archie cannot go back. That was a good play by the Vikings that time, a good safe play. They've had success with that a number of times today, that screen.
Kramer. Incomplete. Deflected by Reggie Mathis. Sammy White was crossing and was right on target, but Reggie Mathis got a hand on it.
And he was wide open that time. The ball been a little higher. He came all the way from the other side, a crossing pattern. They run the play action fake. They do a lot of things from that same type of maneuver, and you can see how open he is. But Mathis gets back and deflects the ball away.
Make it second down, 10 yards to go at the 46. 51 seconds remaining to be played in the third quarter. The Vikings are leading 23-13. Ricky Young and struggle to the 42.
Tampa Bay, Green Bay. The game's in the fourth quarter with 14:45 left. Green Bay has just scored on an Eddie Lee Ivory run. Tampa Bay's leading 13-10.
3rd and 6 at the 42-yard line. Minnesota in New Orleans territory. Kramer has quarterbacked them throughout. 15 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Kramer. Deflected and intercepted. Picked off by James Marshall. Marshall deflected it, and it was Ray Brown who caught it. Marshall deflected, Ray Brown caught.
You take a look at this interception, the deflected pass down the middle again. Both quarterbacks have suffered that. Good defensive play that time by Marshall, and the interception.
A rare turnover and a rare interception.
That's the first interception Kramer's had in over 100 passes.
4th and 10 at the 25-yard line. Archie Manning handing it on. Archie Manning keeping it. And Manning scrambles. But he's brought down by Mullaney.
And back in there. I know he wanted to play. You're going to have to drag him off the field.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score. The Vikings 23, the Saints 13. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Tuesday, a giant adventure, an epic love story, a daring escape plan, a tale of two cities. Tuesday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
This is CBS.
There's that update on the Tampa Bay Packer game. It's 14 minutes left in the fourth quarter. A lot of time in that game. Bucks leading 13-10.
Lindsey Nelson with Sonny Jurgensen at the Superdome as we start the fourth quarter, 2nd and 11. For the New Orleans Saints at their own 24-yard line. Archie Manning dropping back. That's Tony Galbraith. Galbraith to the 40-yard line. Tony Galbraith moves it out, and John Turner made the tackle for the Vikings. Minnesota Vikings came into this game not having committed a turnover in the past 4 games, the longest streak in Vikings history. You just saw the interception moments ago.
You take a look at the defense right here. The Viking secondary, they're just playing a strong zone. The linebackers come weak. Very smart thing the Saints did right here by throwing the ball underneath the linebackers, taking the deep drops, and letting Galbraith run for the first down.
16 yards on the play. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. This is Wilson carry. Wayne Wilson out to the 48-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and about a yard to go. Scott Studwell and Matt Blair on the tackle.
When the pass starts working, everybody trying to rush the passer. That's why the run becomes effective. And you see how many yards they get out of the basic play just off tackle. Good for 9 yards.
Vikings 23 and the Saints 13, but the Saints are driving, and their fans, who have not had a great deal to yell about this year, are excited here at the Superdome. Galbraith in motion, and Wayne Wilson carries for the 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line of the Minnesota Vikings. Fred McNeil made the stop.
Straight up the middle for the 1st down.
As Manning stats for the day. He calls the next play in the huddle. Chandler in a wide right, Ike Harris in a wide left for Archie Manning. And it's complete inside the 35-yard line. Wes Chandler reached high and pulled it in. Hannon and Turner, the defenders.
Again, a remarkable catch in traffic. The pass protection good. And you see him coming back to the ball. Good, smart receiver coming back when he knows he's in traffic to catch the football this time. Watch Manning's reaction after making the completion here. Boy, you like to be able to get yourself set this way to throw the football. All right.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Saints in Viking territory. Now the draw play to Tony Galbraith. Galbraith to the 27-yard line. Andy Holloway. Scott Studwell made the stop. Tony Galbraith in one of his final performances of this season.
Well, he came to play today. That's the thing. They didn't know after Muncie left here. You know, when he lost Thunder and Lightning, they split them up. But Tony Galbraith really wanted to make a contribution. Today, he certainly is.
Wes Chandler has 5 receptions for 75 yards. Running backs in an I formation. Manning has the ball. And completed. Touchdown! Touchdown for the tight end, Henry Childs. Henry Childs took it in for the touchdown, and we've got a football game.
Do we ever? Boy, Childs was not to be denied. He wanted that end zone. And listen to the crowd. They've been saving up all year for something like this.
It's 23-19 with a conversion attempt coming. They drove 75 yards in 7 plays, kept the ball 3 minutes, 39 seconds. Got the ball on the interception. Bobby Scott's in the hole. Ricardo kicks, and it is good. Archie Manning along the sideline.
You take a look. He has 2 people open on this particular play. He elects to go the tight end, and watch Childs fighting off Hannon and then fighting his way to the end zone and gets in for the touchdown.
It is the Vikings 23, the Saints 20 with 11:26 left to play in the game. Oh, boy.
Here's another Radio Shack Christmas gift collection. 14 exciting new electronic games priced from $12.95 to $39.95. Fast action games with electronic sound effects. There's football, basketball, baseball, golf, shooting gallery, and more. Challenging entertainment for kids 6 to 60. Play alone or with a friend for hours of fascinating fun. The big electronic game assortment, available only at Radio Shack, your Christmas electronics store.
Sir, why did you buy a Ford Fairmont?
Well, as a mannequin salesman, I travel a great deal, and Fairmont gets even higher estimated MPG than Citation.
I see. How's the room?
Look for yourself. Loads of headroom and lots of legroom.
How about the trunk room?
Has more than K-Car.
And the sticker price?
Hundreds less than a comparably equipped Citation or K-Car. In short, Fairmont won't cost you an arm and a leg.
Ford Fairmont. It makes a world of sense.
The New Orleans Saints very much alive. They haven't won a game this year. They're trailing by 3 points. Lots of time left, and it's going to be the kickoff now to Eddie Payton, who is center deep. Vinny Ricardo will kick it off. Payton chases it over at the 9. He bobbles it, picks it up, and goes out of bounds at the 12. It's going to be spotted there. So it'll be taken.
Let's take a look at the touchdown, Lindsey. It's worth taking a look at one more time. And watch Charles fight to get in the end zone. And watch Archie Manning. He's right down behind him. He chases him all the way down to the end zone. He wanted him to get in. He just follows the play, following the play. And now the reaction. All right.
The Vikings get the ball at their own 11-yard line as Eddie Payton bobbled it out of bounds. So now Ted Brown and Ricky Young to the setbacks in an I formation. Kramer with the football. Completes it out to Brown. He bounces out to the 16-yard line. David Waymer undercut him there. Picked up 5 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 5. Kramer had completed 100, or rather in 111 passes, had not had an interception until the last one, which gave the ball to the New Orleans Saints. Bud Grant sending Sensor into the ball game. Second down.
Well, the Vikings had this game well in control.
The cry is defense from the New Orleans Saints fans. Ricky Young gets the 1st and 10 for the Minnesota Vikings out at the 25-yard line.
That's exactly what they should do. Not panic, not try to get another touchdown so quickly. The Packers have taken the lead 17-13 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Ricky Young goes out of the ball game. Robert Miller comes into the ball game for the Minnesota Vikings. 1st down and 10 yards to go. They have the ball at their own 25. Their 20th 1st down for the Vikings. Kramer. Penalty marker at the 35. Rashad, the intended receiver, James Marshall, made the move on it.
And we're going to have a penalty here. Receiver was coming back very smartly. Tommy led him away from him.
Defensive pass interference, number 23. 1st down.
That is James Marshall.
Take a look. The same type of action, play action pass. Going back, throwing the ball to the side. They ruled that contact was made before Rashad had an opportunity to catch the football.
1st down and 10 yards to go. They double receivers to the right side. Hand off, and it's going up to the 39-yard line before Reggie Mathis. Now let's go to Brent Musburger in the NFL Today.
Lindsey, here's that play that you just talked about, and Dickey of the Packers pulls out, and he's going to get Kaufman on a 16-yard touchdown. It was deflected by a defensive rush man. It has put the Packers ahead for the 1st time.
Handoff's going to Miller. And Miller moves it around just short of the 45-yard line for the Minnesota Vikings. Ken Boydell on in to make the tackle.
This is exactly what they need to do, Lindsey, just to move the football on the ground, mix in some high percentage type passes, keep the ball away from Archie Manning because he has the hot hand right now.
8 minutes, 50 seconds remaining to be played in this game.
San Diego leading Philadelphia in the 1st quarter still. It's 9-0. And Cincinnati leading Kansas City 13-3.
3rd down and a yard to go for the Minnesota Vikings. 3rd and 1 at the 44-yard line. Kramer hit incomplete. He was hit by Marshall. James Marshall hit him just as he released the ball. That will bring on the punting unit.
They got greedy on short yards. Instead of going for the 1st down, they wanted to go for all of it. And the blitz from behind from James Marshall forces Kramer to throw an incompletion.
Ted Brown got up slowly. Got up very slowly. Ted Brown getting attention out there on the field now from the training staff, and Ted Brown is being led off for the 2nd time today. Punting unit started out and then was called back It's 4th and 1 at the 44. Vikings are leading 23-20. And Pascal is coming into the ball game, so they're going to go for it.
Maybe this is the reason they went for the marbles on 3rd down, thinking they could make the 1st down by going on 4th. A big gamble.
3 tight ends in the ball game. Pascal and Young are the setback. Pascal, 1st and 10. It was Pascal, the rookie from North Carolina, over the top. And let's go to Brent Musburger and the NFL today.
All right, Lindsay, here's the play we wanted everybody to see. Now watch Dickey of the Packers under fire by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, deflected. Kaufman has got it. It's a 16-yard touchdown, and for the first time today, the Packers lead at 17-13. Let's send you back to Lindsey Nelson.
All right, Brent, the ball here is at the 48-yard line. It is 1st and 10.
What's your 1st down play? Pascal going over the top. Obviously, the reason they went for the pass on 3rd, they had intended for going for the 1st down on 4th down.
That's Ricky Young. Gets only a yard. Steve Parker underneath to pull him down. So it's going to be 2nd and 9 at the 49-yard line.
I tell you, for a team that's 0-12, you can't fault the effort hit this afternoon, can you?
The Vikings 23, the Saints 20, and we have 7 minutes, 18 seconds left to play in this game. You know, this is the 3rd mid-season coaching change in Saints history, with Stanfield taking over today. All 3 changes have followed losses to Los Angeles, and each of the previous times, the new coach led New Orleans to a victory the first time out. 3 wide receivers, Terry LeCount there, leave it on the ground instead. Ted Brown back in the ballgame, and he moves it up inside the 45.
Boy, some good blocking up in that Viking line. And they have a new center in there now. Jim Langer's in at center.
3rd down and a yard to go.
And the short yardage offense making switches, and the short yardage defense coming in for the Saints.
3rd and 1 at the 43-yard line. Saints in New Orleans territory. Vikings trying to reestablish control of this ballgame. Ted Brown and Ricky Young are the setbacks. They're in the wing left. Ricky Young, he got the 1st down. And it's at the 41-yard line. Bordelon in on the tackle along with Fettersfield. Next Saturday, the CBS Sports Spectacular will give you a look at 2 great young contenders. 1976 Olympic gold medal winners Howard Davis meets Chicago's Johnny Lira in a lightweight bout that could give him, one of them, a shot at the WBA or the WC title. And we'll have the season opener of World Cup skiing competition from Val d'Isère, France. It's all here next Saturday, 4:30 Eastern on the CBS Sports Spectacular. Kramer with the ball. And intercepted at the 16-yard line. James Marshall. Marshall goes out of bounds at the 32-yard line, and what a day Marshall is having.
The 2nd interception, what I don't understand is they're moving the ball on the ground, they're using the clock, and they come up with a play-action pass trying to get a touchdown. They were having a lot of success just moving the ball on the ground, and look at Marshall just waiting for it. Comes right to him, said, I had enough of this, I'm going out of bounds.
5 minutes, 22 seconds left to play, and the Saints trail by 3, and they have the ball.
Introducing Hertz economy fares for every day of the week. Now you don't have to give up traveling like a winner to save money.
You mean I can get a good rate without going to those companies off the airport?
Right. Go with number 1. A Ford Escort is as little as $29.99 weekdays, $19.99 weekends, or $119 a week. You save on larger cars, too, so call Hertz.
Where us winners rent.
I love this house. It was like an orphan when we adopted it. Now it's adopted us. 11 months ago, my husband died suddenly. It was an awful shock, but it would have been so much worse if we'd had to move. Thank goodness we bought mortgage life insurance from Nationwide when we insured our home.
Mortgage life insurance. It's part of Nationwide's blanket protection for your family.
Nationwide is on your side.
Take a look what happens to Tommy Kramer here on this last pass. It was intercepted by James Marshall. He takes a hit just as he delivers the ball. Alex Price or Lois Groom's coming in, but I do question the call of going for the home run right there when they were moving it on the ground.
1st and 10 for the New Orleans Saints, who trail by 3 points. They have the ball at the 32-yard line. Ike Harrison motion back to the inside. Moved it up across the 40-yard line. Tony Galbraith, the thunder of thunder and lightning, right at the first down sticks. Hannon and Studwell made the stop.
They're not doing anything fancy, but everybody's gotten into the act. Coming right off the ball, the offensive line, and Galbraith. You take a look from ground level right here, and Galbraith just finding some daylight, going straight ahead.
They're going to bring out the chain and measure for the possible first down. And it is a 1st and 10 for the New Orleans Saints.
Boy, and listen to this crowd, Lindsay. They're going wild here.
Well, they deserve to go wild. It's been a long time.
I think the New Orleans Aints, the people that have been wearing the bags, they've taken their bags off.
The Vikings 23, the Saints 20, with 4 minutes, 58 seconds left to play in this game. Galbraith has gained 42 yards and 4 carries. Archie Manning. The screen to Galbraith. 45, 50, 45. And down to the 41-yard line. Tommy Hannon there on the hit. Saints have the ball in Minnesota territory.
Boy, he catches the ball as well with one hand as anybody I've seen. Look at this. One hand again. Reaches out, snags it, gets a good block. LaFleur throwing a block for him downfield. Another first down for the Saints, and they're marching.
Saints are marching, and they trail by 3 points in this football game. Clock is running. 4:13 left to play in the game. They're up here in an I formation. Archie Manning quarterbacking. Galbraith put his head down to get what he could, meeting Bobby Bryant over there, just across the 40-yard line. Second down and 9 at the 40-yard line for the New Orleans Saints, who came into this game with a record of no wins and 12 losses.
This is the way this team was able to hit you last year. They have some exciting offensive people, some skilled people that can do it to you in a hurry.
Chandler to the left side, Harris to the right side. Quick pitch to Galbraith. Goes the pass, and it is knocked down incomplete. Tommy Hannon, right there. Hannon got a hand on it because Ike Harris was beyond him.
He had a touchdown if it had laid it up just a foot more. What a good play and a good throw and a tremendous play by Tommy Hannon. Hannon just hangs right there, and you can see how far he gets back to knock that ball down. They had another touchdown, and look at Harris.
So now, the Minnesota Vikings convene their defensive huddle. It is 3rd down and 9 yards to go, and the ball is at the 40-yard line. 6 defensive backs in there now. Hannon's had a fine day for the Minnesota Vikings.
That's the biggest play he's made this year, I'll tell you that.
Big 3rd down play for the New Orleans Saints. Archie Manning. And it's complete to Harris, and it is not enough for the first down. Keith Nord made the tackle. 4th down coming up.
And Tony Galbraith was wide open coming out of the backfield again. And he wanted the football.
It's at the 36-yard line. 4th and 5. 4th and 5.
Well, this is the ball game right here, and you see a Dick Stanfield pacing the sidelines. Very quickly, head coaches learn to pace, don't they?
4th down, 5 yards to go. 2 minutes, 37 seconds left in this game. Archie Manning. And it's complete to Charles at the 20-yard line. Henry Charles down to the 17-yard line. They keep the drive alive. Hannon and now a penalty marker on the play. And a Viking is down, and he's going to get attention from the training staff. There is a penalty marker being reported to Bob Frederick, the referee, the man in the black cap. Let's keep an eye on Frederick. He is explaining an option to Emmanuel Sanders, so apparently the penalty is against the Minnesota Vikings. Now Frederick will explain it to us.
Defensive holding, number 43, refused. First down.
Nate Wright was the culprit, defensive holding. The man who was injured is James White, who is being assisted off.
What a great pressure play. Great pressure play. The same play they actually scored on. He didn't roll out this time. Henry Childs again making a big fourth down reception.
First and 10 for the New Orleans Saints at the 17-yard line. Tony Galbraith and Wayne Wilson with the setbacks in there just now.
Watch Archie again, going back. Tremendous pressure throw this time to make this completion. Again, he jumps up in the air. He knows he's made the completion.
Defensive tackle James White from Minnesota was injured and has left the game. The holding penalty was against Nate Wright. Declined, so they keep the ball first and 10 at the 17-yard line. Galbraith just outside the 10-yard line. Randy Holloway on the tackle for the Minnesota Vikings.
Galbraith really fired up, pitching the ball back. They've run him inside, outside. He's thrown passes. This time he didn't have any daylight outside. He cuts back inside and takes it down to the 11-yard line.
Now, we are approaching the 2-minute warning, and that is it. We are at the 2-minute warning, the automatic timeout. With 2 minutes to play, the Vikings 23, the Saints 20.
Mustang! Sleek, sure-footed, aerodynamic. That's Mustang, a thoroughbred with a taste for the sporting life. Ride the wind in a world of rich, inviting interiors with the kind of high gas mileage you might not expect from such a high-spirited car. Mustang! Mustang, America's most popular sports car. From the world of better ideas at Ford.
John Burns joined the Army in March and kept us waiting until October. Kathy Wolf joined the Army in May and kept us waiting all summer. If you're a high school graduate or about to be, you can join the Army now and take up to 12 months to report for duty. That way, if you qualify, we can guarantee you the skill training that makes you happiest. And we think a happy soldier is worth waiting for. This is the Army, a chance to serve your country as you serve yourself. Call this number toll-free.
Our executive producer is Charles H. Milton III. Our producer is Bob Rowe. Our director, John McDonough. And all the people whose fine work has made this telecast possible here from the Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana. And it's come right down to this. We have 2 minutes left to play on this ball game. The Vikings are leading 23-20. The Saints, who have not won a game this year, have the ball 2nd and 4 at the 11-yard line of the Minnesota Vikings.
And they had to raise up out of the huddle that time to try to quieten the crowd down a little bit. That's the first time they've had to do that this year.
Manning brings him up, asks for quiet. Wilson's in the right set, Galbraith in the left set. Chandler left and Ike Harris right, wide receivers. Manning took his own pass, deflected back. Randy Holloway was there.
Well, what a big play defensively that time for the Vikings. There's some kind of flag.
Penalty marker on the play. And it's against the Minnesota Vikings. Holding against the Vikes. And that will make it a first down. And it'll make it goal to go.
Oh, what a big break for the Saints. Holloway hit third and big loss after the tip ball.
Half the distance. First and goal at the 6-yard line.
Defensive holding, number 54, first down and goal.
Fred McNeil.
The man he was holding, Lindsay, was Tony Galbraith coming out of the backfield trying to run a pass pattern.
Not a bad idea. 1:53 left on the clock. Galbraith in the left set. What a game he's played here this afternoon. Galbraith Thrown for a loss by the Minnesota defense. Tried it on a delay. Doug Martin in to make the tackle for Minnesota. Clock is running.
There it is, still in the fourth quarter. 17-13, Packers leading the Bucs.
They lost 4 yards on the last play. It makes it second on and goal to go at the 10-yard line. Each team still has 3 times out remaining. 1 minute, 25 seconds left to play. There are the standings in the Central Division of the National Football Conference. The Vikings leading 23-20. To the 3-yard line. James White in on the tackle. Tony Galbraith on the carry inside the 3. Less than a minute to play.
Boy, they come right back.
Timeout being called by the Saints.
Good short yardage play that time coming in. Wilson getting through, running in there, and they finally call timeout as he takes it down inside.
With 47 seconds remaining to be played, the Saints have called the first of 3 timeouts. 23-20, the Vikings still lead.
Palmer, quarterback's got a better arm.
Right on. Better than a pitcher? Name if you've been out of the game too long.
Hey, that's enough talk, fellas. Let's let Flash decide.
Flash?
Yeah.
Flash is an electronic game for all-around competitors because each of Flash's 5 challenging games test a different skill. Besides throwing ability, Flash tests your reflexes, timing, speed, and even your memory.
Joe is back.
Switch to the pinball game.
Watch this.
Yeah, right.
Flash keeps score for up to 5 players.
Joe, 75.
And to make the games even more competitive, Flash gives super bonus points for super shots.
All right.
Great game, huh, guys?
Yeah. Best game since baseball.
Football.
Baseball.
Flash with 5 electronic games.
It's a great game. From Ideal.
Once you get your hands on Rubik's Cube, you may never be able to put it down. Rubik's Cube, over 3 billion combinations, but just one solution.
Tonight on CBS starts with 60 minutes. Then on One Day at a Time, Ann is ready to blow up when she's expected to babysit while she works at her new job. It's all tonight on CBS.
And Lindsay, Tampa Bay has gone back in the lead over Green Bay with 1:58 to play. They lead 20-17.
Right here, the Saints are trailing by 3 points. They have the ball inside the 3-yard line. This is a 3rd down play. They've got Childs and Hardy both tight ends there. And Chandler is out of the ball again at the moment. That was Galbraith who beat the snap, and penalty markers are thrown everywhere. And it is run in. It is run in by Manning, but penalty markers everywhere as Galbraith beat the snap.
Oh, what a time for a mistake. Galbraith beat the count, as you said. You can see him. He comes out of his stance early. He almost got still again long enough to be set. And Archie knows it.
It'll make it 3rd down and goal to go to the 8, and Chandler comes back into the ballgame, and Hardy comes out. Illegal motion against Galbraith. 5-yard penalty moves the ball back to the 8-yard line. 47 seconds on the clock.
I'd come out, I'd throw the ball right now to Tony Galbraith coming out of the backfield on a linebacker.
Well, timeout is being called by Bob Frederick, the referee. For the moment, the officials want to talk things over here. It's an officials conclave, as you can see right there.
Archie Manning has completed 19 out of 31 for 248 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Well, now, could be a problem with the clock. It frequently is when you see officials.
I think they're going to question whether this.
They're coming up to the electric clock operator right there. That is he, along the sideline.
Whether or not time should have run off the clock with his running the ball, or whether the whistle had been blown before the snap of the ball.
I think you're right. If the whistle had blown before the snap, the clock shouldn't have run.
That's right. Now they're saying that it had not, so they're going to run some time off the clock.
Get it adjusted, and it's down to 43.
4 seconds. Run off the clock. 4 seconds. Run off the
43 seconds remaining to be played in this game. The Vikings are leading 23-20. But the Saints have the ball, 3rd down and goal to go at the 8-yard line of the Minnesota Vikings.
Now, what do you do with a coach if you come up 4th down? Do you go for the tie and hope for overtime with the momentum in your favor?
You probably do. Wilson's in the right set, Galbraith in the left set for Archie Manning. Manning. Incomplete in the end zone for Ike Harris. John Turner covering, 4th down. Now let's go to Brent Musburger at the NFL Today.
Meanwhile, Lindsay, there's been a dramatic development in the Tampa Bay-Green Bay game. Doug Williams pulling out, sends his rookie Kevin House deep down the right side. Watch this catch, the juggling act. Then they plunge for the touchdown, and now the Buccaneers lead the Packers 2017. Quickly back to Lindsey Nelson for a big decision.
They go for the field goal at the 15-yard line. Bobby Scott's in the hole for Ricardo, a 25-yard attempt. Scott puts it down. Ricardo's kick is blocked. Rolls into the end zone. Henry Childs picked it up, but the ball goes over. And so it is no good. The ball goes over to the Minnesota Vikings. 33 seconds remain on the clock. And the Minnesota Vikings block the attempt and get the football.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special.
This is Rally Leader. You out there, Chuck?
We're pedaling as fast as we can.
Everybody else is here. Where are you?
Well, we've got ourselves sort of a weight handicap.
How'd that happen?
You guys just brought the bread and cheese. We got a whole trunk full of Lowenbrow.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Well, we're glad you made it.
Who, us or the Lowenbrow?
Unforgettable. In 1955, this voice and this car were destined to become legends. For 1981, the legend lives on in a new heritage Thunderbird and in a new voice named Cole.
Unforgettable. That's what you are.
The legend lives on because the Thunder's still there.
The high snap might cause Ricardo to kick this ball a little low. It's hard to tell who gets a hand on this thing. Right up in the middle, they get up high, they block it. A big play for the Minnesota Vikings. They're still alive in that Central Division.
Minnesota Vikings needing a victory here this afternoon to go into a tie with the Detroit Lions in the Central Division. The lead in the Central Division of the NFC, and they have a 3-point lead, and the clock says 33 seconds.
And they've had the scare of their life right here. The team that was 0-12.
Kramer hits the deck. All they want to do is just use up the clock. NFL doubleheader on CBS next week. Keep in mind that in the Central Division, the Green Bay Packers will be playing the Chicago Bears. The Detroit Lions, who are on top, will be playing the St. Louis Cardinals, among other games, next week.
Of course, we'll be at Tampa Bay, Minnesota at Tampa Bay. And a big, big game in that Central Division. And it's got to go down to the last week there.
Timeout taken here, of course, by New Orleans. Also next week, New Orleans will be at San Francisco, the Giants in Seattle, and Dallas and Oakland in a big one next week. All right here on CBS. Dick Stanfill along the sideline. Well, he has managed to get a great effort from his New Orleans Saints here this afternoon. The attendance today, 30,936. No shows, 18,029.
Well, what a tremendous effort. And now you see Dick Stanfield going around congratulating players on the bench. He's got to be proud of this football team to come in. And you go back to that illegal motion on Tony Galbraith, the great game that he played coming in here in the second half, being a lift for the offensive team. To have that call, he's really got to be disappointed as much as anyone. A couple of the scores, Lindsay, while we have time. Baltimore leading Buffalo 28-17. That's in the fourth quarter with only minute 56 left. Curtis Dickey scored another touchdown. I think it's 2 for him in the game. Kansas City trailing Cincinnati 20-6. That's also in the fourth quarter with about 2 minutes left.
Kramer takes the ball and hits the deck once again. Clock is running with 20 seconds. 19 and counting down.
Ted Brown had a good game today. 95 yards, 21 carries.
It will run out here because the New Orleans Saints are out of times out. They can't stop the clock, and they don't need to snap it anymore. So the game is over. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. And that is that. The Minnesota Vikings go into a tie. They go into a tie with the Detroit Lions on top in the Central Division with that final score of the Minnesota Vikings 23, New Orleans 20, as you see Bud Grant head across for the runway that goes into the locker room here at the Superdome in New Orleans, and his Minnesota Vikings had all they wanted here this afternoon.
With a sigh of relief.
So this is Lindsey Nelson with Sonny Jurgensen here at the Superdome, and the final score once again is Minnesota 23 and New Orleans 20.
Welcome to the future, brought to you by Fidelity Electronics.
I am Fidelity Chess Challenger, your computer opponent. Enter your move.
Now, from the future, a new voice sensory chess challenger. A talented opponent that senses your every move, then illuminates and announces its counter move.
Knight takes queen.
At fine stores everywhere. At Fidelity, our most important product is the future.
Give your family a great holiday. Give them all a holiday to remember. For that special time of the year. Beneficial's the place when you want more money.
Daddy, look! Make this holiday extra special with extra cash from Beneficial. We want to lend you the full amount you have in mind.
It's one time of year you just can't cut corners.
At Beneficial, you're good for more.
Thank you. All right, back live in New York. I'm Brent Musburger with Irv Cross, and right now Tampa Bay is holding on against the Packers. We'll keep you up to date as we tell you all the scores around the league right now. These are finals: 23-7, St. Louis over the Giants. Another final, and the Steelers run their record now to 8-5, 23-10. Washington loses to Atlanta 10-6 the count there. The Falcons are 10-3. You watched that exciting game, 23-20. The blocked field goal did it. Some thought New Orleans should have gone for the win. Baltimore 28. Buffalo now has 21. That's an update on that game. 20-6 is the count there in the fourth. Cincinnati leading Kansas City. Jan Stenerud about to attempt a field goal that would tie the game against Tampa Bay for the Packers. He's already kicked one. Now going back to the scoreboard, there you see the count in the Cincinnati-Kansas City game. Now it is Tampa Bay and Green Bay, 20-17, probably 20 seconds left in that game. 14-0, Cleveland over Houston. That game is in the second period. 7-3, San Francisco is ahead. That game is in the second period. The Jets and Los Angeles leading it 10-3. It's in the second period. And San Diego over Philadelphia 9-0 in the second. Stenerud's field goal attempt is no good. Tampa Bay holds on now to a 3-point lead, and they can run the clock out. And the NFL Today continues on CBS in just a moment.
Here's another Radio Shack audio bargain. Save 50% on this realistic brand speaker, sale priced at only $49.95. Now you can get 2 for stereo at the regular price of 1 during this remarkable holiday season sale. Enclosed in genuine walnut veneer wood cabinet. Because wood helps it sound better. The sale-priced realistic speaker, only at Radio Shack, your Christmas electronics store.
This is where gravity ends and the thrills begin. Watch in slow motion as curve-hugger cars hang on through gleaming loops. Then race into a steeply banked corkscrew curve. And in the dark, Tyco's night glow shines like outer space itself. Hang in there. Super Duper Double Looper by Tyco, of course.
Here is the field goal that Jan Stenerud just attempted. Hooked it off to the left, and so Tampa Bay now has just 10 seconds to run out the clock, and that would give them a 2017 victory. And in the standings, it would move the Buccaneers to 5-7-1. Again, Detroit and Minnesota are tied for first. Another exciting Sunday in the NFC Central. For Irv Cross, I'm Brent Musburger saying so long from New York. We hope you've enjoyed the NFL Today on CBS. We'll see you next week.
The NFL Today is sponsored by Ford and your Ford dealers who invite you to test drive the new world car, Ford Escort. And by Lowenbrau, when it's time for the taste of a truly great beer, let it be Lowenbrau. The NFL on CBS is a presentation of CBS Sports. If you're on welfare and want to get off, or if you're not on welfare and wonder why so many others are, don't miss the 60-minute story, Getting Off Welfare, tonight on CBS.